Good morning. We're at that rock where we left off on the January 5th video, and I want to go up this way and then turn south. So I'm going to go southeast, directly south, and that'll connect me to the corner of the stone wall in my north central field. There'll be a quiz later. So what I'm going to do is, I don't have a lot of time today. I'm going to set up the tripod. I'm going to take care of this section of multiflora, because why not destroy some multiflora while we're out here? And then this is going to be a little bit longer of a video. One, so I can spend some more time with you. But two, because we got all that snow that you saw in the video from the 8th, and we got 2 inches, 3 inches of rain. And it highlights an issue for this property. And walking out here, saw a lot of good examples of it. And it's one of the 2 major threats to my farm. So I want to share that with you, just because we're sharing stuff, and that's what this channel is all about. Okay, you saw on the 5th we stopped at the rock. Whew. And then today, mowed down that guy. Bam. What's up, buddy? See you later. And yeah, that's gonna put out new sprouts in the spring, but they'll be easier to cut back versus just letting it go and be a wild mess. So that is now part of the side of the trail. Keep my critter habitat. And then this is as far as we got today. So another like 15 feet. I got halfway through this bunch. I'm gonna take this bunch out and go that way, just because I've got a hole in the trees, and then I'll do that jog over. At some point maybe I'll start on that side and connect them. What we're gonna do now is walk back together and talk about the wet elephant in the room. Hey everybody. So this property has always had a large portion of it designated as wetlands, and you can see why. But as the planet warms and we get more rain, especially 2023 into 24, which it's January 2024 right now, it's a very wet property. Now I want you to think of, as we do this, if you were raising livestock on this property, as it was traditionally a dairy farm, your animals would get hoof rot and have wet feet and have nowhere dry and nice to hang out unless you built that shelter for them and found a dry spot. Everywhere on this property, and you'll see through the next 10 minutes or so as we walk back towards the farm, the brewery, how just wet this is. I don't have a good official path to get back to my good official path. At some point, you forget which way you cut through because you're talking on camera. Hello. Well, we'll find it. There it is over here. I wear the same sweater every time I'm out here because cutting that multiflora down, you get scratches and pulls, and so there's some uncomfortable moments. That, and I just love Valley Malt, and it's a Valley Malt hoodie, so it makes me think of Andrea up there in Massachusetts, malting local grain, working with local farmers. So you can see Zip, who doesn't like wet feet, he likes going on walks more than he likes wet feet. Now we're at a nice dry patch, but that won't last. You stick through to the end of this video. I have a moment of zen right here. Super fun. Continuing on. Now I've been on this property walking around, trying to farm, just enjoying, since 2013. So now going on 11 years. Pretty good handle on all the rocks and trees and creatures here. what is possible from an agricultural standpoint, what is possible from a conservation standpoint. I've been working on this trail just to have somewhere to walk the dog. Some of my neighbors might occasionally go for a walk on it. It's not open to the public. And I got a few friends who hunt on here. I believe in hunting as a conservation mechanism. Story for another day. And maybe I will just shut up for a few minutes, walk out, just take a second, watch the ground, watch the woods, and I'll talk to you when we hit the road again. We're almost there. So here's going to be our first stop along our eastern property line. This is the sunrise right now in the east, sets in the west. Along our eastern property line, running north to south, is a swale cut by previous owners that I'm in a slow process of cleaning up and reclaiming. We have a lot of invasive species, as we've talked about, and trying to reclaim some of them, or reclaim this swale so it's easier to maintain. It gets silted in, water backs up. Sometimes it's running like you see here, but we're gonna walk past some spots where it's stagnant. I don't want to burn any fossil fuels to do this, and I need to get my workouts in, so I carry my tools. And I got a pole saw and this and that, and I've been cutting back all of the brush here, willows, autumn olive, multiflora. That's our trifecta of invasives. So this is my northeast field, And it's clearing out the swale to make it easy to maintaining existing agricultural infrastructure. But all they did was cut a trench. Like, there's no water flowing right here. You can see it's stagnant. So it's not exactly a well-engineered piece of infrastructure, but it exists nonetheless. And I can't assess it properly unless I can get to it and maintain it and then improve it to help with the agricultural use for which we are zoned for here in Kent, Connecticut. But there's these big fields up here that somebody else owns and somebody else hays, and through that field the water runs off. You can see it right in there in the center. My hands are all shaking because they're tired from clipping stuff. And all around us there's hillsides. 18,000 years ago, glaciers came through, brought all my topsoil down to southern Connecticut, and left me with glacial tilth, which is clay and stone. Then 18,000 years later, I got 6 to 8 inches of topsoil, silty topsoil, and clay and stone. So when it rains, the water filters through down the hillsides into our property. We act as a big Brita filter. It goes out into our pond and then into the upper Aspetuck watershed. So this pile here is the brush that I cleared down the row here, that I cut it from this side, drag it to that side, and then drag it by hand down into my pile. And then eventually I'll come with the tractor, roll it up, pick it up and bring it somewhere else on the farm to decompose. But I don't want any of those invasive plants that I'm cutting out to reroot. So we come out here, we'll see the brewery, it's so beautiful. And I make a little progress at a time. This is my chore, this is my errand. When I don't want to go back into the fields, I'll work on the top of the hill. Zip the dog can run around and do his thing. Look for little critters, look for interesting things, chase deer around, whatever he wants to do. This is a good life for a dog. It's a good life for me. Well, here we go. You can hear it. Let's see if you can see it. Water just trickling through the stone wall, covered up all these crazy plants. But here in a depression, the water sits and filters down into the field. Makes for a very wet field. Here it's sitting close to the top of the road. And if I may comment quickly, as a YouTuber, whoa, I almost went in that time. And water just coming out of everywhere, filling up. As a YouTuber, there's a discord between creating good YouTube videos, good for the algorithm, and then farming and assessing land. One of the most important tasks you can do to manage your property is to walk around and look at stuff. Look at all the little things. Where's the water coming in? How's it flowing? What is it like when it's dry? What is it like when it's wet? How do the little things affect the big things? And is there any way that you can or should or shouldn't affect change when you're optimizing for happiness? I want to be happy for the land, getting rid of the invasives, happy for the people, connection to nature, happy for my livestock, access to fresh forage. And as that water gets through that swale, we have culverts. Again, existing infrastructure. A lot of the stuff already here. Maybe we'll go low in this field. And this field here, at the back of the brewery, is my main pasture. This is where I have a zillion pictures of raising broiler chickens, turkeys, whatever livestock. There's been a great field for it. This building was a dairy barn, and that's where the cows would go in, and now that's the Kent Falls Brewing Company tasting room. So my best grass where the cows would hang out and poop and chill is here. The back of the property gets a little more rustic. So sorry to make you dizzy swirling around here. I gotta get going with my day. Let's stop shooting video. I just want to point out this one last area. So efforts have been made through the past. This again, I've cleared a lot of this out. It was all overgrown. Me and the goats. Efforts have been made to manage this water so that this water is not going here. But it doesn't stop this field from being wet. You can see a wet spot right there. And there's a wet spot in the back of the brewery. Goes down to the pond. We'll follow this stream. This is where this side of the stream connects to that road we were just walking on. And our last pit stop for this video will show you just the passive magnitude of that one little source of water. And it goes on and down into the pond, down into the watershed. And there's the brewery, and it's a beautiful morning. Longer video today, but it was worth it. Now you get a kind of a sense of how the water flows a little bit, how wet this property can be. I have farm friends who it rains and it filters right through their sandy loam, and they have to irrigate. I have friends in Florida who are farming on sand who have built up grass over time, but they don't deal with moisture issues and cold and snow. And they're amazing people. But me up here in New England, guess what we got? Cold and water. So I'll stop the video here. I'm gonna send you off with one last moment of zen where I'm not talking. Hope you have a beautiful, wonderful day. Look at this. These are willow trees that I had cut back and are growing up. So maybe we'll do something fun with willow this year. Anyways, you're the best. Talk to you soon. Bye.